Welcome, welcome, everybody. Welcome to another Community Fit, and in particular, a midweek desk stretch. I am your host, James, and we're here. We're here to do some movement today, specifically all to do with the spine, the core, kind of from neck down to hips. We're going to start off in the way that we always do, with a little bit of a nervous system warm up, some nervous system regulation practices. If you have a practice that works well for you, something that you practice routinely or you have come to learn either in this class or in other classes, feel free to do that. And if you're like, I don't even know what a nervous system regulation practice is, feel free to follow along with me. What we're looking for is sort of a grounded, present, ready to go feeling in the body. Something where you're not thinking about what you got to do, what just happened, something that kind of gets you in the moment. If, as you're exploring these, you come up with or find something that you really enjoy and you want to know more about nervous system regulation, join us on Fridays. That's what that class is all about, our Adjusting to Change Toolkit Class Act program on Fridays. So here we go. We have been practicing a lot of different versions of sort of trunk of the body hair. Bob, the dog, has just joined us. Hey, Bob, come on up. Come on up. Let's say hi. Bob just got a haircut, so he's just gonna show it off for a minute. Hey, Bob. So we've been exploring it in a few different ways, right? From the lens of the hips and the shoulders, from breathing to like what your gut is holding on to, like small movements. Last week we got into some big movements. So we're going to continue along that theme. We're just going to kind of run through some stuff. If you are brand new and if you're just kind of joining us for the first time, always feel free to stay with some of the more foundational skill sets and then move into some of the bigger movements when and if it feels appropriate for you. Doing more, doing bigger is not the answer to feeling better or being more embodied. Often it's about like the small things that add up over time. So as you're going through these practices today, along with me, maybe be spotting things that feel extremely good and maybe things that are kind of difficult for you to do and creating your own library of things to do in the future. So I'm going to do less talking now, and we're going to dive right into our nervous system regulation practices. Go ahead and get comfortable, whatever that means, right, Bob? Go ahead and get comfortable, whatever that means for you, bless you. And feel free to do whatever practice works for you. I'm going to sit here and watch Bob give me the side eye there. And I'm going to start off with just a little simple breathing. And with this, I'm going to do some cyclic breathing, meaning I'm just going to inhale to a count of 3. I'm going to hold my breath for a count of 3, exhale for a count of 3, hold my breath for a count of 3, right? So it's like a full cycle with a pause in between, counting to a 3. While we're doing this, I'll do the counting. Maybe you do the breathing, right? So let's inhale like regular old human beings. Exhale. And inhale to a count of 3, 2, hold. 3, 2, exhale. 3, 2, hold. 3, 2, inhale. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Two more. And then maybe warm your hands. Take your nice warm hands, either place them onto the jaw, the throat, the belly, the chest, whatever feels good, right? It should just feel like a warm, grounded touch. And let's do a regular human being inhale and an exaggerated exhalation. Couple more. Regular human being inhale, exaggerated, prolonged exhale. Maybe as you do that, there's a little rocking right and left. Maybe your hands aren't quite in the right place. Maybe you want to move them. Maybe you want to pause all of that and just do a breathing thing alone. Maybe you just want to do a touch thing alone, or maybe you want to add to it. Maybe there's a look around the space. Just kind of noticing what you notice. Maybe you notice the books and the plants, the walls, the ceiling, the light in the room, any sounds in the room. And then you're going to find center. You're going to take both hands. You're going to slide them at the very top of the neck. And we're just going to do some soft circles way at the top of the neck, base of the skull. Maybe the head falls back and forth. And then pausing, and maybe it falls over to your right hand and your left. Just kind of getting some movement in through the neck. Maybe your big, heavy right hand goes onto the left side of the throat. Big, heavy hand draws to middle. Big, thick left hand, right side of the throat. Big, heavy hand draws to middle. As I twist my face in the opposite direction. Right hand, left throat. Big, heavy hand draws to middle as my face looks to the left. Opposite side. Big, heavy hand. And center. Right hand goes underneath left armpit, and that's it. Just letting some heat and touch do the work. And maybe while you're here, right hand, left armpit, maybe you try to inhale as if you're filling up your left lung into that right hand, right? Like it's a left lung balloon that fills up into the right hand. Exhale, fully deflate that left lung balloon. Few more. One more. Other side. Let in the warmth and the touch do the work. And all you've got to do is fill up your right lung like a balloon in the direction of that left hand. One more. Sitting up in your chair, Go ahead and let your right hand grab a hold of left wrist and vice versa. So they're just going to kind of grab a hold of one another. And both of those elbows are now going to start to swing. It's going to take your ribs, it's going to take your shoulder blades, it's going to take your lungs and your heart and just kind of move them. Maybe we even take, and if you're kind of looking at me from the side, maybe we even take and kind of create some space between the chest and the arms, almost like you're holding like a bunch of laundry. Maybe that goes up, maybe it goes back down. Maybe we breathe into both lungs like we're trying to fill up balloons. And then we'll switch the grip. Same exercise, creating some space and moving. And release. Just a little shoulder roll, just a little movement through there. And reverse. Sitting back in your chair, and I'm going to adjust the camera a bit. Sitting back in the chair a bit. Both hands are going to go onto the belly. I'm just going to get a little movement through the belly. Remember that when we're dealing with the core of the body, the back, the spine, the kidneys, the lungs, the heart, the ribs, that all of these guts, right, really influence how well some of the psoas muscle, which goes from the kind of the back of the ribs forward and attaches into the legs, the diaphragm muscle, some of these things that really influence our experience of the back have everything to do with like how settled, embodied, relaxed the gut, the stomach, the liver, the kidneys, the spleen, all of that is. So we're just taking some time and kind of massaging the belly a bit. And we're going to look for areas that feel important to the touch, meaning it might feel tender, it might feel exceptionally good, it might just feel different. And if you feel those areas, you're going to pause, hold, maybe breathe into where you feel your hands. When it no longer feels important, you're going to look for another spot. Pause wherever that is, do a little breathing there. Maybe another 30 seconds of just exploring. And release. Sitting up, going into one of the things that we covered kind of throughout this series and the previous series, we're going to go into that somatic meditation of really kind of becoming more aware of our pelvis and kind of the tension we tend to hold in the pelvis versus the spaciousness that is more or less capable there. Here's how we go through this, right? So I want you to imagine where you believe your tailbone is in your body. And that's sort of the central midline of the body. And then to the right and to the left of that midline is you have a right sit bone and a left sit bone, with the bone underneath the right butt cheek and the bone underneath the left butt cheek. And you are actively going to try to contract, squeeze, pull together everything, which means pelvic floor, it means some abs, it means some butt cheek muscles. You might even feel your legs want to pulling together. And then, in contrast, relax, yield, and let go, and see if you can get a little wider and I'm being really conscious of the language here. It is an active pulling together, and it is a passive relaxing. You cannot force yourself wider. It's a letting go. And in that letting go, there's a request there for you to pay attention to where's my midline, and do both sides let go the same, or do I tend to kind of hold some tension? And if I'm holding tension over there, how does that relate to some of the back pain I have? How does that relate to some of the leg pain I have? How does that relate to your lived experience in your body? Are you holding on in some place in the body in a way that maybe doesn't serve you in the way that it should? And what today can you let go of? We're not looking for miracles. We're looking for incremental bits of awareness. What can I let go of right now? Which might be different than later today or next week or in previous weeks. So what can you do today? Squeeze. Letting go. I can do it like this. Squeeze. Let go. Contract. Relax. You can see it can be big and it can be relatively subtle. End in a place where you feel like you are your widest, your most yielding, your most passive letting go self. Then stay that way to the best of your ability and crisscross left leg, and I'll adjust this even more, kind of left leg over right. And if this posture works for you, great. You may need to move this leg somewhere if you're not this flexible. You might be more flexible, right? From there, I'm just going to do a little rocking. And I should feel relatively equally relaxed, yielded, and widened in my pelvis. Or do I feel like I'm scrunched up somewhere? What can you pay attention to today? So I'm just going through this kind of passive stretch mobilization exercise. And then I can just do like a little rocking there, just kind of relaxing a bit. And then I'm going to pause. I'm going to keep all of this still, and I'm going to twist right and left. Now I can go super slow, and I can go a little bit more, right? What I'm not doing is taking everything, right? My leg is staying relatively still. My upper body is going through some version of a rotation, quick or slow. Other side. Get into the position, whatever that position is. Do your check down in the pelvis. And then we're just going to go through some movement. Little wiggle, and instead a little twist. And release. From there, scooching even more forward, we're just going to let the legs kind of flop, right? In and out. Now, again, the question is always, what do you do with your feet? My feet are not floppy, and my feet are not stuck. There's somewhere in between, right? So it's a aware foot, it's a purposeful foot, but it's not a stuck foot, and it's not a forgotten foot, right? So I'm just going to leave that criterion there for you to kind of play with. It's just real wiggly, just a little hip movement. And then instead, find your center, and you're just going to kind of lift and lower the legs. And maybe both. Still aware of the pelvis. And release. From there, still seated, relatively wide, just going to kind of move side to side. Now, it can be small and it can be big. And I'm going to leave it for you to determine how big feels right for you today. What feels like it's moving you in a way that your body is like, oh, that's exactly the movement I was looking for. And not a, oh my gosh, that's a lot of movement. And not, oh, I feel safe here. What feels like a craveable movement? What's big enough and small enough? What's the right temperature? Now, you can stay here, or how does it change if you put your hands behind your head? How does it change if whether your hands are down or behind your head if you add in a rotation? And which one feels right for you today? Two and one and center. I'm going to do some adjustment here. Turn myself to the side. Scooching to the front edge of your chair there. Hands are going to go on the legs. We're going to do some seated cat-cow or flexions and extensions, meaning I round my back and then I extend my back. Now, where people go wrong is they'll typically just kind of keep their eyes forward and move through their chest. That's ignoring the neck spine, and it's often then ignoring the tailbone spine. So instead, I tuck my tail, I look for my tail. I stick my tail back and I try to get the back of my head to touch my tail. Now, for some, that might already be too big of movement, right? Maybe you wanted to start a little smaller. For some, that's not enough. So, how do we add more to it? Not advocating everyone needs to do it. But for those of you who are inspired to try more, let's involve the hands and the arms. So, as I go forward, maybe I open up my arms here. I'm going to give you this view with this one, right? And then maybe they go, maybe there's an inhale. Now, if you're in that arm movement, maybe you choose to, with your eyes, follow one specific hand. And where does that hand want to go? For those of you who used to join classes with us and we had Move Lab, it's almost like a paper airplane moment, right? So I'm going to lift, and wherever my right hand goes, I'm going to follow my right hand with my eyes. Now maybe it's my left hand. Maybe it's both hands. Maybe it's one hand. Two more of doing whatever you're doing. And just a little shake here, little bounce, a little movement. Now, let's revisit a practice we were playing with last week, which is some deeper flexions and extensions. Now, as we go into these, here's what I'm going to advocate. If one of these previous exercises, flexion extensions, cat cows, paper airplanes, whatever it is, felt like enough for you, or maybe even like borderline too much, stick there. Practice those things. If not, here we go. Both hands are going to go here. I'm trying to decide, is this going to be a good place for us? I believe so. Hands are going to go here. I'm almost resisting. I'm letting my head fall. I'm going down, 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 down. And I'm not just falling, I'm kind of passively pushing a bit. And then I'm going to decelerate. And I'm going to lift my head. I'm going to come up and stretch. Curl. Go down. Come up. Stretch. Curl. Go down. Come up. Now you can stay there. You can add a twist into it. In order to add that twist, whichever arm I twist to, that arm's going to stay straight, right? That's all you got to remember. The arm I'm looking at, stay straight. The other arm is going to do a bend to get the twist and the flexion and extension. Here's what it might look like for you. As I go down, I twist, and I go down, 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 down. When I'm down, I'm going to twist the other way. That arm straightens out. I come up, twist in the other direction, repeat. One more. Reverse. Lots of breath. Last one. Center. Recalibrate, meaning just kind of look forward, let your eyes kind of look out the periphery a bit. And maybe it's a rocking or a little shoulder movement. Maybe you need a little breath work here to kind of reground yourself a bit. And then let's move on. Here's where we're going to go. I'm going to go here. Hands will go right there. Hands are going to go on the chair, meaning they can go down, they can go on your armrest. You determine where your hand placement needs to be. I'm going to go down here. How do I know where my hand placement needs to be? If my back is rounded, that means I'm probably in the wrong place. Maybe I need to come up here so that my back kind of flattens out a bit. Or maybe I need to bend my knees so my back can flatten out. Or I just need to be more mindful of where my back is. Now, hold there. Arms are pushing, legs are pushing, and I'm going to let my head and my tail drop. And instead, I'm going to let my head and my tail lift. Head and tail drop. Head and tail lift. Head and tail drop. Head and tail lift. Find your center. Take your right hand drops, and I'm rotating towards that straight arm. And I'm just going to take a couple of breaths. Come back to center. Other arm drops. Come back to center. Little hamstring stretch. Maybe you want to hold on to this. You're just going to kind of move through that. And this one is really good for people who experience like low back or SI joint. Low back, SI joint pain. I'm going to put my hand somewhere. And then I'm going to just jiggle. It's just some knee bend. Jiggle, jiggle, and I can go right and left, right and left. Jiggle, 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 jiggle. Just getting some movement in there. Find your center. Come back to your chair, whatever that means for you today. Maybe do a few more breaths. Maybe do a little rocking, right and left, side to side. Maybe you do some like hula hoop spine. Maybe it's some soft, gentle jiggles. It's just whatever movement now feels like you are more fluid. Whatever movement brings up fluid quality for you, maybe do that. Feel your two sit bones. Feel your neck and your head. As you move, can you become more aware of when it feels like your head is in balance with your pelvis. Like you're not fighting gravity, you're not overly efforting. This is not an ab squeeze, this is not perfect posture. It's just a sensation of like, oh, I am more or less balanced right now. And I find that that's not like a squeeze, right? It's not a, oh, what do I need to squeeze in place? It's almost like soft, gentle, fluid movements that allow you to get really curious about where and what does balance feel like to me today? And so maybe next time you're working at the computer, maybe you're reading, sewing, eating, drawing, whatever it is, you can take a moment and just kind of feel your way into balance. Anyways, that's what I got for you today. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you join us on Friday for Adjusting to Change Toolkit. And then we have next week, our last week of this series that we'll be together. So thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye for now.